Security Sector Review 2020 in retrospect is what we are on, and I'm discussing with very distinguished gentlemen right in the studio with me. Starting from my extreme left, I have a barrister, a legal practitioner, Chima Williams. Thanks for coming, Chima.
Thank you, Philip, for having me.
And next to him is a public affairs analyst, and he is Pastor Salvation Onomroba. Thanks for coming, Onomroba.
Thank you,
Salvation.
Mr. Philip. Thank you, ITV. Good morning, viewers.
As your name implies, I just hope that salvation will come to every one of us after this time out, as in respect of the issue of insecurity. All right. I start with you, Chima Williams. We have been having one issue too many over banditry that has been taking place so dominant in the northwest, the Katsina, in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in Kebbi, Niger. And just this morning we heard that gunmen killed 2 and abduct 50 in Katsina. Now, what do you make of this? Do you see this as overwhelming the government?
Well, you see, I think the position should be qualified in recent times.
Okay.
Okay, because before now, insecurity have pervaded in other parts of the country, you know, in the southwest,
yes,
southeast, south, you know, north central, Kaduna, Abuja roads,
yeah,
you know. And now, I don't know, in recent days, from the abduction of the over 300 students,
yes,
you know, in Katsina, it seems that it is now a test. Let's test the will of the president. It is in his own state. Okay? Because otherwise, the centering of the abduction, kidnapping, you know, in the past weeks in Katsina, you know, tries to make a statement.
Yes.
But, you see, the issue of security is not government problem alone. It is a collective responsibility of every Nigerian, you know, to ensure that there is security of lives and properties in any part of the country. Why do I say this? When the abductions occurs, you know, there is no stranger, I keep on emphasizing this, no stranger will enter into any community and commit a heinous crime of taking up to 300 children without an insider.
344.
Okay? Without an insider who knows the nooks and crannies of that environment that we aid. And this is where we will ask ourselves, what actually is lacking? Because I sat down to think through the security situation of this country as it is. No review of the security, you know, apparatuses or structures will give us, you know, the security that we want in this country. No, because something has gone wrong somewhere. And this is the thing that we must try to look at. Where have we gone wrong? Because before now, okay, of course there's always security challenges all over the world, but the magnitude of the security problems that we've had in this country in recent times calls for retrospection, okay, for us to think through where have we missed the target.
Okay, but don't forget again, there has been so much discussion over the need for the president to change the service chiefs. And that discussion has been on and on and on. And then the issue of saying that the Boko Haram has been decimated, of which what we are seeing seem not to suggest in that direction. Don't you think much is expected of the government? Like you did say that security matters happens to, we are all involved in it, not just the government. But don't you see the need for the government to take this issue headlong? Hundreds of billions have been budgeted into it year in, year out. And yet, nothing seems to be working, as some will say.
Yes, I agree with you, Philip. Of course, when I said that it is a collective responsibility, somebody is at the lead or on the lead, okay, who knows better than all of us, who receives information reports more than every other person, okay? But the point is that the service chiefs, changing the service chiefs, may be just a minute solution to the problem.
Okay.
It is not the key to the solution to the problems. And if you give me time, I have outlined 3 key steps that Nigeria will take to solve the security problems in this country.
Really?
It is not something that is rocket science. It's something that all of us know, but nobody is ready and willing or have the courage, okay, to look at them the way they are. Number 1 is that if we must solve the security problem of this country, we must fix our politics. The way the politics in Nigeria is conducted, is an incentive to criminalization and incentive to, criminal elements to come out. Okay? We see situations where, you look at it, people that follows politicians. You see their lifestyle. You see the money that are at their disposal. What extra do they do? Okay, these are people that we knew who they were before they became elected or appointed. Okay, so that lifestyle on its own, encourages people that have criminal minds to say, okay, if I cannot get into politics, I can get it from the other way. Okay.
So you're talking about really the cost of governance, which is so high.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is one. So if we want to fix our politics, one is that, can we look at a situation where in a country of over 200 million people, our key players in governance are elected by less than 15% of the population. That on its own cast a serious credibility question on our governance system,
okay,
that touches insecurity. So in fixing our politics, every one of us, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that probably in the next election that we have at least 50% of Nigerians that are of voting age coming out to vote. Perhaps there could be a change. Okay, so that on its own will help when people know that, look, I have their mandate. Look at what happened recently on the palliative issues, where palliatives that are supposed to be used to help indigent citizens were stored away. It's not human beings that stored it. Wickedness in politics, wickedness in leadership. Who do you want to now blame on that? Somebody had released this, somebody kept it. What sanctions have been meted to those persons that, hijacked those materials that are from Nigerian taxpayers' money? These are issues that, in fixing our politics, we will be looking at.
Okay.
Secondly, is that presently, the political culture we have in this country does not give room for alternative ideas. Because if you look at our political structures, all of them tend towards the same direction with just minute, differences. But in their operation, they all operate in the same way. And this is why you cannot differentiate between a party that is being governed by a state that is being governed by party A from a state that is being governed by party B, because the things they do are almost the same.
Okay, you're talking about political ideology.
Okay, so
that seems to be missing.
Lack of political ideology, and once there is lack of political ideology, the political culture becomes, non-competitive. Okay, so in this, what we say, if we want to solve the security problem, can we create alternative political, culture, alternative political structures?
That's a long-term. That's a long-term plan.
No. Because see,
that's a long-term plan.
See, the security problem in this country has, gotten so deep that we don't want palliatives.
Okay.
We want real solutions, and it is doable. It just takes the guts, the political guts.
Okay, let's go to the third one.
Okay, the third one is what we have all been clamoring for: restructuring of this country. Okay, once you restructure this country, now probably we need to redefine what we mean by restructuring.
Okay, I'll come back to you on that. I'll come back.
People talk about restructuring.
Okay.
Some talk about it in terms of political restructuring, in terms of geographical restructuring. But if we must restructure, we have to do a holistic economic restructuring, which regions will be viable.
Okay, I'll give you to expatiate on that as the show progresses. Okay. But let me join you, Salvation or Nomroba. We have these issues. He just made mention of 3 key areas. Political corruption is also key in terms of addressing insecurity issues. Do you concur?
Well, I want to state that it is not surprising that Nigeria is in the security matters we have today. We took stages, we grew into this. There were certain things that led us into this. I'm not surprised things are happening this way. I will only be surprised if it didn't happen. There are things we call causes and consequences. You don't take certain actions and not expect certain reactions.
Okay.
We build things over time. For example, over the years, you don't expect corruption. There are certain key issues that led to where we are now. Number one, we had corruption. We had a situation whereby our security system, corruption crept in, decades, it began to grow. One of the most dangerous places that corruption can enter is the security apparatus.
Okay.
You cannot have corrupt police officers. You cannot be having corrupt custom officers people who are supposed to police the border, who are giving tips and anything you want to bring in. In the Nigeria of today, me and you, we understand that with time, I have studied that sometimes the criminals that are displayed on TV are the criminals that did not play ball. It is the man who is caught is the man that refused to bribe. The one that knows how to bribe is never caught.
That's your perception.
No, yes, it's
that's
a personal
perception.
But it's what the one that knows how to play ball is never. So we had things that grew by the time. We had corrupt security agents. Then we had lack education. We looked at it. You see, we have an ideology in this country. If it is happening to my brother, as long as it's not happening to me, it's not yet my business. But what you don't know is this: we are connected to the north. The northern boy who is not being educated, if for a long time is not educated, it's going to affect you in the
It becomes the headache of the nation.
Because so we have, for example, when Boko Haram started in the north, we in the south, some of us were relaxed. We felt that Boko Haram would be in the north. Today in Benin, we have kidnappers, Fulani herdsmen in the bush, kidnapping us here in the south. Who are those Fulani agents? We saw this, so over time we were relaxed. We watched.
You mean headsmen? You mean headsmen?
No,
okay.
I have a theory.
Because we can't tell if they are Fulani. So why don't you just say headsmen? I think it's better to give it that caption.
I have
please.
a theory, and I want to ask the security agent to go and investigate. But for me, because I studied Fulanis, and I noticed that the average Fulani man is not a greedy man.
Okay.
These people don't look for cars. The average Fulani man is content with the little he has.
Self-satisfied.
How come we now have Fulani men kidnapping people and asking headsmen, kidnapping people and asking for millions?
Thank you, headsmen.
When a headsman who we always know to be satisfied is now asking for millions, what is my thinking? I feel that the kidnappers that we have here, I feel that they are raising money for terrorism.
Okay, but again, let's situate the fact that it's not all headsmen that are involved in this. So you can say some suspects.
Yes, the suspected kidnappers that we have.
Okay.
I feel we thought that Boko Haram was in the north, but what I feel is that why is these men, some few headsmen, the ones that are kidnapping, why is it that they are not asking for millions now? What I can say for myself is this: I feel that Boko Haram, they are not looking for money to sponsor terrorism. How come herdsmen now have sophisticated weapons? It is Boko Haram that have these weapons. Why am I saying this? What we thought was in the north is already coming to our doorstep. What we thought was fast, so we slept over these things and it started deteriorating. There are no schools in the north. We thought that the boy that was not going to school, even the politician, he felt that if I keep stealing money, I can be eating it. But right now, even the Boko, for example, I'll give an example. When Boko Haram started, they were attacking Christians. Now, fellow Muslims, they might have thought that, oh, it was Christians they were attacking. But after they finished with the Christian, they entered the Muslim. There is this thing, we slept over this thing. And when we slept, even the Bible says, why men slept, the enemy came in.
Okay.
So when we have a problem, we have a corrupt system, we have the only result. And let me tell you, Mr. Philip, if we are expecting a different result with all that is happening now, we are deceiving ourselves. Deliberate steps must be taken. And it's beyond arming the soldiers. It's beyond that now, because it's now deep. If we are not practical with our solutions, if we don't tell ourselves the truth, because obviously the Nigerian society, now when you look at the society, you will notice that the Nigerian government, what I notice that they rather say it nice than say it the way it is.
Okay.
They rather talk well. When I talk harsh, I'm not the one causing the problem. There is a Boko Haram person causing the problem. We need to look at the fact. How did we get here? We need to know how we got here. That's when we go back to how we can come out of here. It's not just, I will tell you something. Yesterday, I visited an IDP camp myself. I'm telling you, Philip and viewers, you see, there is difference between the news and when you meet the man who that news is a reality with him. If you hear the stories of what is happening in our country. Somebody was telling me in an IDP camp, he watched his brother burnt alive by Boko Haram. Somebody was a lady, the father, she was with her family.
Okay, but there's no need for you to say all of this here, because we are yet to really get the statistics of that report. Just be objective.
The security situation is really, really serious.
Okay.
For example, we cannot have 43 persons killed and this nation is going as usual.
Thank you. I'll come back to you. Now, we have this issue of the multinational task force. We have Lake Chad, we have Niger Republic, we have Cameroon, and Nigeria signed into this. Some are saying that the issues about the multinational task force is not meeting its objectives because of poor funding and lack of strategic planning. Do you agree?
Well, you see, security issues are very dicey issues. It's not something you just jump into. Okay, conclusions. Now, of course, we understand that the security challenge this period is not only one country issue. Okay, you look at it from a global security challenge, because there are security issues almost everywhere. But we talk about our own because it affects us.
But if much attention is placed on the multinational task force,
yes,
don't you think this will go a long way?
Yes. Now, we saw at the beginning of this arrangement that there were reprisals, there were actions that took place in different parts of these four nations that went into these arrangements. Some Boko Haram insurgents were captured in Cameroon. Some were captured, in Niger.
There were laudable results coming out from this.
Right. Now, I think what may have happened is that at a point, these four governments, the four states, felt that, we have repressed or suppressed the insurgents and relaxed a little bit.
Fell back.
And the challenge with organized security criminal gang is that, yes, at a point when you feel
they take advantage
that you have suppressed them, you relax, they go in to re-strategize. And if you do not match them, and that is why in security, resolution, if you want to resolve security problems,
there shouldn't be lapses.
There should be no lapses.
Because they can hit at that point when there's a lapse.
Continuous fight until you are sure that something drastically has been done.
Okay.
Of course, insecurity, there is no time in this world that there will be no insecurity problems. There is no time. But it's just like robbery. A state is said to be a haven of robbers where every day there are incidents of robbery, attacks. Okay? A state is said to be a haven for kidnappers where, it happens.
It takes the order of the day.
On daily basis. Okay? But when you have fought them to a standstill where it becomes an out of ordinary news, okay, it happens once in a while, then that is when you will say you have done something. But in the type of situation we have, we know that Boko Haram, was said to be affiliated to Al-Qaeda and all the rest, ISWAP and the rest of them. So, which means you have to do a study of the operations of these gangs, okay, for you to now appreciate where they stand. Of course, in this country, offer of amnesty was made.
Okay. After the radicalization of the repentant Boko Haram members.
Okay. Some embraced it. Some rejected it. Now, I wouldn't know because I am not in the security realm of this country, but I will think that the security hierarchies would have studied the repentant combatants, members, okay? And from them extracted some information with which to tackle. Because if otherwise, it means that effort was a wasted one.
Okay, but some also believe that the fifth columnist could also be arising from this de-radicalized. Yeah, because sometimes you wonder how this sect of insurgents get information that at the point where the army wants to strike, they get a tip.
Yeah.
So it means there is an existence of a fifth columnist.
That is where they study. Because in security management, you must be intelligence. That is why they have intelligence units in security management. And security intelligence unit is supposed to think out of the box. And they are supposed to identify this fifth columnist, and even within the security structure itself, they are fifth columnists. So it is the duty of the intelligence units to dictate this. And once you are able to dictate this and tackle them to a very large extent, you are solving the problem.
All right. So we've had much discussion in this direction, but let's look at 2021. Now, a lot has been done in 2020, and in just 2 days' time, we'll be kissing 2020 goodbye, and the third day will be the first day of January 2021. What are the lessons learned for 2020 that you would want the government to really work on in 2021 to boost security in the country?
All right. I feel security, if the government is really going to get it, they need the cooperation of the people. The government and the people must work together for security challenges to reduce. And to do that, I'm asking for the government needs to be more transparent with security matters to the people. The people need to trust the government. For example, how can you kidnap 344 people? With my calculation, to kidnap 344 people, you need at least 5 trucks, big trucks, to put them inside. How do you drive 5 hefty trucks? Trucks are not silent vehicles. From village to village, and nobody talks. Did you disappear?
No. There was an interface with security agents. No. Don't forget that. There was an interface. There was an exchange of fire. Don't forget that.
No. To kidnap 344 people. No. That it was successful. Even when we talk about the Chibok girls, this amount of kidnapping, the numbers are too much. You know.
Okay, drive a point home.
No, what I'm trying to say is that nobody spoke means that the people in that environment are not cooperating with the government. This is where intelligence comes in. When the people feel like the government is transparent, they open up. For example, for the people not to be talking out, it means that 2 things are happening. It's either they are becoming sympathetic to Boko Haram, or they are not happy with the government. Okay,
I think again the local vigilantes, we need to reposition the local vigilantes in the year 2021
how many
to fight this.
I said the people, I didn't say vigilantes are part of the security. How many vigilantes do we have? It is the people that live in the villages. It is the people that farm on the road. It is the people that can hear what is being said. Like my fellow discussant rightly said, in 21st century, sir, greater part of security is intelligence.
Yes.
We keep saying that every nation is having security issue. Okay, how many terrorist attacks do you see inside America? When after we heard of 9/11, did you hear of 10/12? Even though they are still having their security challenges, America has been able to manage their America.
Okay.
You can bomb outside, they fight it outside. You can't be having 200 kidnapped last year, 300 kidnapped.
So what they're saying categorically is that every citizen should be alive to his responsibilities.
For the citizens
to monitor,
alive,
to observe.
The citizen cannot be alive to a government that is not transparent. I want to ask you, the government is saying they did not pay ransom for these people. Why is it that these people now like kidnapping? Be open to the citizens. They will help you. We don't want the insecurity.
So going forward, the government should be transparent.
Transparency. Okay. Tell us the way it is. If you pay them, let the people know.
I was discussing with Reverend Azeke Sheriff, and he did say that in the year 2021 there should be more money, like what the budget really is reflecting. More money budgeted for security, to fight insecurity. That the money budgeted previously and this year isn't enough to really tackle security. Don't you think that's right?
If we budget more money, the question I first want to ask is, the money we budgeted this year for security, how many percent of it entered?
Entered what?
Entered the security.
Okay.
When we budget things, if we don't fight the corruption, we might just be increasing what we enter somebody's.
I don't have the right panelists to tackle that.
Yes, what I just mean is, before we budget more money, because it's part of our problem, we need to tackle corruption. Because the soldiers are saying that they are not getting the weapons, and money is going into security. The security votes that governors have, where does it go to? So when we are talking of more money, I see the money that was budgeted for security this year.
So it should be accounted for.
80%.
Let's get to see how it was spent.
Yes. This will reduce.
Okay, thank you.
When we talk of more money, let's talk of accountability.
Thank you. I take that as your final thoughts on this discussion. Your final thoughts.
All right. You see, if we continue to treat the symptoms, if we don't take time, the ailment will kill before the real problem is discovered. But now we know in this country, the real solutions to these problems. Insecurity, a hungry man, is a quarter step to being a weapon in the hands of hoodlums. Okay? So, can we look at, in addition to government transparency, can there be massive job creation that keeps the mind of these young people that are ready recruitment fields for insurgents, for kidnappers, for armed robbers, for all manner of banditry, you know, to be reduced.
Okay.
Because, of course, we have the saying that an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
So the government should look in line with, as in for job creation. But you know, government can't really, it's not the right body to address job creation, but to create an enabling environment. To create an enabling environment. Because governments are not good businessmen.
Sorry, governments, for all the successful countries,
okay,
where we have seen things working a little bit normally, okay? Government, apart from creating enabling environment,
okay,
shows the steps, okay, to take. I visit some countries where just simply because, you know, there is no job to be created. For instance, they go into probably destroying roads to recreate roads, just to keep the people busy.
To keep them engaged.
Okay? So when a government has taken that positive step, that is the only time that such a government will think of creating an enabling environment.
I think that's where the intervention programs, I think that's where the intervention, social intervention programs of government really come in.
Now,
I think what you're saying is that there should be a boost, an increase in the intervention programs
now,
in order to engage youth so that they don't become restive.
See, my brother, intervention programs of giving people money is not an answer.
Okay.
You give somebody 10,000 naira to start business. Is it akara business that the person will do 2 days and survive on it? Let's be real, my brother.
Okay, thank you.
Intervention programs should be massive job creation.
Okay, thank you.
How long, when last, did the government at all tiers recruited new employees? Have they not? Have people not died? Have
Thank
people
you.
not retired?
Thank you, Chima Williams. We'll take it in subsequent discussions. We're going to take that. Big thanks, Chima Williams, for taking our time to be part of this show.
Thank you.
Chima Williams is a legal practitioner, and also big thanks to you, Salvation Onomroba, for being part of this. And Salvation Onomroba is a businessman, MD, CEO of Autoblaze. All right. So this will call it a wrap on the discussion segment. Is still TMI. Stay with me.